Hello, friends, neighbors, and pals. It's Tony. That's my own opening jingle.
I like it.
Yes, I wrote it. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Rhinestone Room. I'm Tony Arias, your host, and we want to thank the wonderful people over at The Vegas Voice for allowing us to have this opportunity and this time and this episode and the show. So thank you, Vegas Voice. My friends, I have a very long-time friend with me, somebody that I've laughed with, somebody who I've made cry when I slapped her.
Repeatedly.
Over and over again. Somebody that we've watched each other grow. We've watched our families grow.
Yeah.
And we've been a
You're
part of...
making me sound really old.
I know, it's me that's old, honey. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Finley Cotrone. Honestly, I want to thank you.
And I get younger and younger.
Yes, you do. You look... They remember you from the last time, right? You look fantastic.
Thanks.
I do, and I told you as you walked in, I said, I love the hair. I really do. It's like you just got off a horse. It's all windblown and blown out.
That's exactly how I got here. Is I rode the horse I rode in on. It's humid today.
It is humid today.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I have to stop fighting it.
Right, and just let it be.
Like my very first headshot, I had super curly hair, and then after that, apparently, I started fighting it. And then now I'm like, I'm just gonna let it be. This is
Yeah.
me.
Isn't it funny? I'm still not used to seeing you with long hair. I remember because when we first met, and for years you kept it extremely short.
Well,
And
it was attractive.
it was attractive. But I love this. So let me explain to you who Finley Cotrone is. She's a performer. She's a voiceover artist. She's an actor. She's a producer. She's a Ph.D. person. I don't know what the hell that means. She's a professor. I mean, she's a teacher. She's a trainer. She's a scuba diver. The woman does everything.
Oh my God, you're making me sound so interesting.
No,
I wanna
you
be
are
friends
interesting.
with you.
I say that to myself all the time.
That's why we're friends.
I can't wait to be friends
Nobody
with
loves us
myself.
like we do.
Exactly. We know it. Honey, I am just so impressed because when we met almost 30 years ago, we were struggling. We were looking for ourselves, right? Right? I think that's the right term. We're looking for ourselves. But you've come so amazingly far in who you are. I'm not even going to say career. I mean just who you are. And you're a Ph.D. in...
Industrial organizational psychology.
Right. Now, those are all words that I have I mean, they're words I understand, but I don't understand how they all come together.
It's basically the psychology of, I can't even tell you, it's such a secret. The psychology of work. Yeah. So,
Okay.
I have a BFA in theater.
Right.
And kind of fell into training and development. So my goal in getting my master's degree was to understand, from the beginning, I understood how corporate training should go. And I didn't know why I understood that.
Yeah.
So I got my master's in educational psychology, which is the psychology of how we learn. That didn't tell me why I automatically understood how learning and development should go. I'm kind of slow, to be honest. So it took me a little while to figure out that life is theater.
Amen.
Learning and development and education are theater, and they have a pace to them in order to keep things moving.
Right.
And
Okay.
there's a story, there's an ebb and flow.
Right.
So when I finished my master's, I decided, I was an applier of research at work. I worked at Four Seasons, before that at MGM Resorts International. And I was an applier of research. And I was like, well, I'm reading all this research. I may as well keep going in my education. So I'm accidentally a Ph.D.
That's
a doctor
brilliant,
of philosophy.
though. I mean, how many people go, accidentally I'm a doctor? I mean, could you remove my spleen? Yes, well, accidentally, I can do this.
If we were at work,
Right.
Because it's,
Right.
No. Yeah, nothing to do with blood. Like, in fact, it's weird when people are like, and this is Dr. Cotrone. I'm like, that implies that I know what to do when you're bleeding. So it's kind of awkward.
But you said something absolutely fascinating. You said life is theater. And that is so, that's almost biblical. That's almost gospel. I mean, it's so poignant. And so you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I think that's why a lot of people don't get you and I off stage. On stage, they get it.
Yeah.
On camera, they get it. But off stage, they just don't get us. We're puppets, or we're something that they don't understand.
I have gotten things like, you don't have to perform for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
perform for you? I'm just being me, right?
Exactly. Or you're always on, or you're always loud. I'm like, yes, but that's just me. I'm not trying to get attention. And in fact, when I go into a grocery store, and this is honest God's truth, I go into a grocery store, and when I'm going to the checkout counter, and the checker says, "How are you today?" And I say, "I'm just fine. How are you?" I bring it down because I don't want the whole line to go shoo. Because at this moment, for whatever reason, I don't want the attention. And so, but and Scotty, the other half, has to tell me every once in a while, he goes, "You're up here. You're up here." And then you read the room, and I go, "Oh God, that's right. Read the room, read the room." But you and I are very similar.
We are, and I'll tell you something else that was big information for me. Look, I just got bigger sharing it. Do you remember the movie Dirty Dancing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Patrick Swayze says, "This is your dance face, this is my dance
Right.
face."
Right.
And I went, oh, that's where the essence of energy comes from, right? And so I started playing around with how you can move people with your dance face as you're walking.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so you make that choice of
Yeah.
how you walk through a group of people. And I can turn it on and turn it off, but that's really, that conscious effort is to either draw attention or not draw attention, or
Right.
frankly, I've reached that age where I'm invisible. So I'm like, all right, game on, I'm coming, right? But that was big information for me on how do I control and try to encapsulate that energy
Yes.
rather than, it allowed, I hate to say this, but because I never want any human being to diminish themselves.
Exactly.
Right, but that's what I'm doing is
Yes.
I'm pulling it in because
Yes.
I don't want to be the center of attention at the grocery store.
Right. Right.
Right? Or
Right.
when I'm complaining because something didn't go as it should have.
Right.
I don't necessarily want everybody paying attention to that. But I think that's what's really, maybe that's what bonded us so many years ago when we were 8 years old.
I truly believe that. I truly believe that. Finley is also a magnificent improv actor. Is that how you would say it? Improv actor, or just an improvisational?
I think I like improv actor because I've had people go, "Oh, you do stand-up comedy." I'm like, "Oh, no. That's
Yeah.
totally different.
Yeah.
And I have a much higher
Yeah.
expectation if it's prepared." Probably the best skill ever is the ability to improvise, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I would
Yes.
say improv actor.
Yes, absolutely. And also stand-up comedy, and I get that a lot as well. People say, "Well, do your stand-up or give me a little bit, be funny." And I go, "You don't understand. Nothing is written
Yeah.
for me. It just isn't. And if it was, I would screw." Honestly, I would
had
go on
great
stage
things
and
about
go,
me.
"Well, so much for that." I would have no idea what the hell to do because I would be so focused on what I had to remember or what I was structured to do. It just wouldn't happen. But I've seen you perform on stage doing. I saw you. I remember you did the play Misery, and that was
my sexiest role.
that was. What a turn on! Wow, she looks great with the sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Really? Huh?
It's true.
I've seen you do Misery. I saw you do other plays, but that one sticks in my mind because I wasn't used to seeing you in that role, in that character, when for years I saw you doing improvisational acting.
Right.
And it was just amazing and over the top and loud and the attention is right here with you, and you made sure that the audience was watching you. And that's a gift in a sense, because other actors and other people, they just kind of fall into the background. And unless you can draw some attention to you without going, la, 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 or being stupid about it, you were able to do that. And I admired that about you.
Oh, thank you.
I do admire that about you, and I try to emulate you when I'm looking in the mirror. I do. And then I forget about you and fall in love with me.
Of course.
You know.
Oh. I am a silver fox.
I am.
They're
yes.
right.
I go, what would Finley do? Right? What would Finley do? And I go, who cares what Finley does? Look at this, you beautiful thing. Don't you ever die.
Well, that's one of my favorite things about you, is that you can be funny at your own expense, and also you understand, like at the core of your being, you, at least I'm not your therapist, so I don't know for sure.
Oh, you're a doctor.
But that's true. So it seems to me that you have a beautiful balance of understanding who you are at the core of your being so that you can make fun of yourself. I think that's incredibly special, because we live in a world of insecurities. And I mean, we all have them. I certainly have mine. But that doesn't mean that at the core of my being, I don't feel fortunate that this is me. Right?
Yes.
It's the song from The Greatest Showman.
Yeah.
This is me. Who doesn't want to be me, right? And so that's what I love about your humor becomes. I'm sorry, I was thinking about you, and then I made eye contact with myself. Right? I mean, that's brilliant.
Honesty, ladies and gentlemen. That is what you're going to find in the Rhinestone Room. Honesty. Talk, please, about what you're doing at UNLV and this project that's coming up that you and I that are going to be part of, because I'm very excited about it. The information is going to be coming soon, so I want you to talk about it, and then everybody can find out about it on my website at TonyAries.com. But tell
because
us
I
what
don't
you're
want to
doing.
lie about what the dates are.
Right.
So for the last several years, I have said, why aren't we doing immersive experiences in the hospitality college, right? Everything in Las Vegas is becoming an immersive experience. So I talked people into letting me do last fall semester an Italian family reunion. And I interviewed all of the students, because we had literally 8 weeks of class time to go from nothing to an actual show. We auditioned actors. Okay, so my favorite thing is I had a student say, after we did the first practice show, it was basically a run through with people that we let eat for free. And she goes, that was exactly how I thought it should go. And I was like, I'm just glad it wasn't a big shit show, right? Because it was the first time we had practiced
Exactly, yeah.
And so then when I started planning for the next one, I said it's unfair to a new group of students to do something similar, because I don't want them to be stuck in the mindset of what does this have to be. So this time we went completely different, and I'm so excited. So they're starting from nothing, except they have you and Bruce Ewing.
Yes.
Two incredible performers, as you people already know. And each of you is doing a different type of cabaret, and the students are creating the space, the menus, the service style. What is the atmosphere going to be like? We've got to sell tickets. We're also going to raise money for scholarships for hospitality students, because I like for many of our events have like a silent auction component, which forces students who may not want to do it to go out and get free stuff from people so that we can auction it off. And proceeds will go to hospitality students to help support their education. My students last year came to me after the new semester started, and they go, we're ruined. Every class needs to be that exciting. Because it's very real. There's no one right answer. There are budgets.
Right.
But the first couple of weeks, Finley, is this what you want? was the question they constantly asked. And I was like, is that what you want? Well, will it work? I don't know. Probably really no way to find out unless we do it, right? And so life doesn't have one answer.
Exactly.
And so you want to go down this road? Let's see how much that is going to cost us because we have this little bit of money. Or you want to go down that road and see if it works? This is where we're supposed to take big bold moves, right? So they went from, is this even possible, to, do you think the Strip would buy this show? Literally in 9 weeks.
That's fantastic.
It is fantastic. And this time, I think we've got 6 weeks of class time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's an even more truncated schedule.
Yeah.
But they're also working with industry professionals. So when you and Bruce come in, you're going to talk about your show. You're going to talk about what your goals are, what you would need for it to fulfill your needs as a performer. And then they're going to come up with all the things that we hope will support that. And we'll probably Zoom you in and go, hey, this is what we're planning, or invite you to the menu tasting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last time the menu tasting we had, there was an item that ultimately got cut from the menu. It was brilliant in how it tasted, but not so brilliant in how it looked, right? And so you're like, I hate to do it, but that does not look like humans will eat it. But the food was incredible, the service was incredible, and the students got a very real experience.
Yeah, yeah.
And they started out really timid, and by the end, they were dancing, literally.
Brilliant. But this is the way learning should be.
Yes.
Right? Hands-on. And it sounds to me, and I'm not a Ph.D. by any stretch of the imagination, but it sounds to me like your improv skills have come into this whole program. So what's going to happen is that Bruce, and all of you know Bruce Ewing. He's magnificent.
Everybody knows Bruce
Everybody knows Bruce Ewing. Bruce, it's even annoying. Bruce is going to do 2 shows of his own. He's going to do more of a dinner cabaret show. And then I'll do 2 shows with Keith Thompson. And we're going to do more of a Las Vegas dinner type show. And so it's going to be magnificent. The dates, we will have all the dates on my website coming up. You will go to TonyArias.com. They'll be actually able to purchase tickets.
Yes.
Right? So this is open to the public, and the ticket price is going to be so minuscule compared to, next to having a dinner show and this magnificent experience for the students. Because the money's it's not about paying for all of this. It's like you said, scholarships and so forth. So I'm so excited. I thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this. I'm excited to meet the students, and I'm so happy that you came on the Rhinestone Room and shared with everybody what is it that you do. Because I honestly look at your title and I go, I have no idea what the hell that means. But
some days I do the same. What does this mean?
I want to have you back.
Thank you for saying yes.
Would you please? Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for coming on the show. Will you come back on the show?
We'll see how this one goes.
Yeah, exactly. We gotta look back at this tape. We gotta look back at this tape. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my very, very dear friend, Finley Cotrone, Ph.D., S.D.D., something or other. I thank you so much. I thank all of you for tuning in to the Rhinestone Room once again. Again, thank our friends at the Vegas Voice. I'll see you at my website, TonyArias.com. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.